Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at our 2025 to 2026 Miami Hurricanes college football team. We're going to look at their entire schedule. We're going to break down the rosters, look at the offense, the defense, the coaching, and try to predict their final record. We're going to go game by game, see which games we think they're going to win, which games we think they're going to lose, score by score predictions, but mainly, will they be making the ACC championship this season? Do they have a real, honest-to-God shot to make the playoffs this year? They just barely missed out last year, but maybe this is the time they finally get over the hump. We're going to break it all down today. If you're a Miami Hurricanes fan, this is your video. First things first, guys, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, you agree with me, disagree with me, what are your thoughts on these games? Let me know below, and I will make sure that I respond to every single comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look down at the pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. Summer, we are halfway through summer. We are almost to kickoff time for both college football and the NFL. If you're a football fan, guys, this is the place. Make sure to like and subscribe. Once college football is here, once the NFL is here, we go over every game every week. We do predictions. We do best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. This is the place for your football news, so make sure to like and subscribe. So, this Miami Hurricanes team, this team went over a complete transformation last season, but also in the offseason this year coming into this 25 football season. Obviously, you had Cam Ward last season. No one is ever going to be able to replicate the numbers that he put up at the quarterback position for Miami. He was the most statistically superior quarterback Miami has ever had. That guy had a great season, finished in the top 5 for the Heisman. He went number 1 overall in the NFL draft. People can't say that he's gone and you're not going to miss him. He was the number 1 overall pick, the best player in the NFL draft this past season. So you got to respect that. There might be a little bit of a downgrade, but obviously the big off-the-season news was you brought over Carson Beck. This is someone with 2 years as a full-time starter, not just in the SEC, but on the Georgia Bulldogs football team. This guy's played in the massive spotlight. He's been in the big games. He's been in massive conference games. He's been in conference championships. This guy has excelled at the highest level. Yes, he didn't have his best season last year, but also don't forget the Georgia Bulldogs did lead college football in drop passes, and he had Mike Bobo calling plays. Mike Bobo, let's call him what it is. He is not he's not an adaptable offensive mind in any way whatsoever. He is stuck in 1985. You have Shannon Dawson for the Miami Hurricanes. This is someone who comes from that Cliff Kingsbury air raid, but yet spread multiple type of offense. He spreads them out. He dinks and dunks. He gets the ball to his playmakers in space, but he doesn't even give up on the run. So he still lines up. He uses that great Miami offensive line, and he runs it right down your throat. He showed that he will play to whatever his position skill players, whatever their strengths are, that's what he will adapt his game plan to. He did it with Cam Ward. He's going to do it with Carson Beck. Carson Beck finally getting outside of Mike Bobo's shadow. He's going to have an offensive coordinator who is going to use his strengths, and Carson Beck's strength is the play action pass. It is what it is. He can run the play action as good as anyone in the country. When he's doing play action, over 70% completion percentage, Miami's going to have a great run game. There is no doubt this run game is going to be elite and might be the best in the ACC. They're going to have a top 10, top 5 national offensive line, obviously led by Maui Goa, Cooper. They're going to run it down your throat. They're going to be able to give Carson Beck as much time as he needs. Even though he has a younger wide receiver core, there's not as many proven commodities as Ward had last season. There's still a lot of playmakers. You have Josiah Trader, you have CJ Daniels transferred over, Tony Johnson, Ray Joseph, Nye Carr. You have what about the tight end position with Lost? And this is a guy who is very underappreciated. He's a dark horse top 3 tight end in the entire nation. And running back, Fletcher, Lyle, Jamar Brown, lots of weapons there with that great offensive line. And on the defensive side, you got rid of the defensive coordinator. You bring in Heatherman. He's going to be bringing that physical, aggressive style of defense. A lot more simple plays. Let the Miami speed and power do what they need to do. Get behind the line of scrimmage, cause chaos. It's what made Miami so good when they had Manny Diaz as their defensive coordinator back in the day. Get behind the line of scrimmage. Tackles for a loss, quarterback pressures, sacks, live off of that. This is easily going to be a much improved defense. Even if the offense takes a step back, don't forget they were number 1 in the nation last season in offense. Not 2, not 3, number 1 in the entire country. They were elite. They don't have to be that this year if the defense just plays a little better, because last season that defense was atrocious. It was an embarrassment to college football fans anywhere. They just can't be number 80. If they have a top 30, top 40, top 50 defense, and the offense can take a step back. Maybe they just need to be number 10, number 20, and they're going to be able to win those close games that they could not win last year. And, of course, there's a lot of pressure on Mario Cristobal here. They spent a lot of money bringing in Beck and company. There's a lot of praise going in. If Carson Beck excels, Miami could potentially have back-to-back first-round quarterbacks. When's the last time that happened for Miami? Has that ever happened for the Hurricanes? This could be the first season. Carson Beck was considered a perennial first-round pick last season. He was the front-runner for the Heisman coming in the last season. Since he's transferred to Florida, all of the talking heads have given up hope. Just because he's a Miami Hurricane, they all want to hate on him now. They don't even have him in their top 10 quarterbacks. It's a complete joke. They would only root for him if he was an SEC Georgia Bulldog, but his talent didn't go away. If anything, he's in a better system for his skill set. But let's not waste time. Let's start looking at the schedule. Let's go game by game and break them all down. Obviously, they're going to be starting out the game with one of the most difficult opening weekends in the entire nation for any team. Miami's not afraid to play anyone in the country, anytime, any place. They're going to be welcoming the runner-up to the national championship, Sunday, August 31st. You have the Notre Dame Fighting Irish coming to Miami. We know what happened last time. Notre Dame came all the way down to South Beach. They couldn't take the heat. It was humid. It was hot. They got curb stomped, but that has nothing to do with this season. Do not think that Notre Dame coming down here that they are not capable of beating you. This is a very talented team. They went to the national championship and put up a fight versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. They had a very difficult road to the national championship, and they showed they can fight with anyone. They can run the ball. They have Jeremiah Love back. The big question mark here is they sent a lot of players off to the NFL. They're going to have a great offensive line. They're obviously going to have a great defense. They have Ash coming over because Al Golden does not have to come back to Miami, thankfully for him, because he would get booed. He's going back to the NFL. But who is going to be leading this Notre Dame offense? Riley Leonard's gone, but I don't think Riley Leonard was the reason that Notre Dame made the national championship. He was more of a game manager that made a play whenever he had to make a play on third and long. Could be Carr here. Carr could be the guy for the Irish. If it is, that is a very tall task to ask him to go on the road versus the Hurricanes, who are probably going to be a preseason top 15 team, to go on the road to Miami. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. He has to beat the Hurricanes, but he has to go up against an experienced veteran, Carson Beck. No matter how good the Notre Dame defense is, and it is going to be elite, Carson Beck has played against elite defenses before. That's one thing that experience gives you that you cannot buy from anywhere else. He's seen it. He's done it before. We know that he can do it again. He knows that he can do it again. As long as he keeps those turnovers down, his experience here can be worth at least one possession, one full touchdown. But this is one of those games, it's a 50-51. It could go either way. But honestly, guys, I do have Miami pulling off a very close game, opening this season with a win, just like they did last season versus the University of Florida. And then after that awful first game, starting out the season with a rough out of conference, you have Saturday, September 6th versus Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman, they always have a good band. That's about it. This is going to be a curb stomping. It's not going to be close. Might be close for the first possession, but Miami probably out of the gate, they're going to go right down the field. They're going to score. They're going to be up big at halftime, but this is also a matchup for you to get the backups in. There's no reason to leave Carson Beck in second half. Let the young guys get snaps. You have to also build for the future. You want a healthy team second half of this season because you are planning on making a run for the ACC championship. Conserve the bodies of your stars. Miami wins this one. They're going to win it big. I'm going to say the Notre Dame game is probably going to be like a 27-24 type game, but Miami's going to beat the crap out of Bethune-Cookman. Probably going to be like a 63-10 game. So right now we have the Hurricanes sitting here at 2-0. Great start to the season. And then Saturday, September 13th versus the South Florida Bulls. Obviously, this team playing in Tampa, this is a team that has a lot of 3-stars, but when you are a Florida team, this is a Florida team, a lot of 3-star Florida players. A 3-star Florida player is probably a 4-star in any other state outside of California, Texas, and Florida. So we know they are much better. They're going to have speed. They actually had a pretty competitive team last season. They played Bama close. They played Miami close for a little bit of it, and then they got the brakes kicked off of them. Miami's going to dominate this game, but it's one of those matchups with it being an in-state rival type team. They're going to keep it close, probably 1 or 2 quarters, and then Miami's their depth, their power, their speed, their endurance here, third and fourth quarter. They're going to win it, and they're going to win it by multiple touchdowns. I'm going to say like a 42-20 game. And then why not face the team you started out last season, Saturday, September 20th versus the Florida Gators. Finally coming to Miami this season. We know Miami opened up with UF last season. They beat the crap out of the Gators in the swamp in Gainesville. They're going to be facing DJ Lagway this season. The Gators have been getting so much off-season hype. Lagway, Napier, much improved team on offense. The big question mark is their defense. How improved will their defense be this season? Last year, Billy Napier, the most difficult schedule I have ever seen in my college football life. Hey, he won 8 games counting the bowl game. Props him. This team showed they want to play for him. They want to fight for him. Can they carry that momentum into this year? Last season, very slow team getting out the gate. If they start that way here, they're going to get the crap kicked out of them. But DJ Lagway, can he also live up to that offseason expectation, that hype? Everyone's gunning for him. Some people have him as a Heisman frontrunner. That might be a little too quick, but obviously the guy can play. Dual threat type player. He loves to live with the vertical passing game, though, but he can run if he's forced to run. Florida's going to be a competitive team. This game's going to be a lot closer than it was last season. It's one of those games, to me, it is practically a 50-50 pick-em matchup. But if you force me to pick today, which I'm going to do, I'm going to go with the Miami Hurricanes again winning this game, but I think it's going to be extremely close. It's going to be by 3 or 4 points, one possession game easy. It might be a field goal game. A missed field goal could easily decide the outcome of this game. It could come down to something as simple as special teams. I'm going to go with the Miami Hurricanes winning this one 30-28. They pull off the win. They scrape by. They get national attention. They're now sitting at 4-0, and the steam, the hype, it's starting to build. And then right after that, you have another in-state rival. 3 of your first 5 games are all versus in-state of Florida teams. You're going to have Florida State Saturday, October 14th. You're going to Florida State, so you're going to Tallahassee this game. Florida State last year, what a joke they were. 2-10 record. You can't expect that today. There's no way that they could possibly do worse, right? But they have to do better. Castellanos taking over at the quarterback position. You have Gus Malzahn coming over as the offense coordinator. You have a new defensive scheme. A lot of pressure on Mike Norvell. This team is going to be much improved, but when you succeed by the portal, you also lose by the portal. They had a great portal team in that 23 year. 24, it completely fell apart. Mike Norvell has to show that he can not just work that portal, he has to recruit. One key to recruiting is you have to win on the field. Miami owned this game last season, but when this is a rival game, Florida State's going to have a good defense. Do not doubt their defense. It's all going to come down to Castellanos, that offense, that offense, and the line holding up, buying him time to be able to push the ball down the field. The Castellanos loves a run. He's a 1,000-yard rusher. They're going to live and die by that quarterback option. But I do think Florida State is going to keep this game close. It's going to be a competitive game. When it's an in-state rival game, when it's any type of rival game, take the records, throw them out. They mean nothing. As of right now, Florida State, they are projecting about 6.5 to 7.5 wins. I do think that they will at least be a 7-5 team, might even be 8-4, which is a massive improvement over last year. Miami, just take this game serious. You can win it. I do have them winning, starting out the season 5-0. They win this one. Lower scoring game, though, 27-17. And then we are getting deeper into ACC play Friday, October 17th versus the Louisville Cardinals. This is always a team that plays Miami close. They always have a good offense. When you're looking at Jeff Brom's team here, one of the better coaching staffs, he adapts his play calling to the strengths of his skill position players. They have a great transfer portal class coming in. They have Miller Moss coming over from USC. This guy's going to be slinging it. They're going to be vertically pushing the ball down the field. They're going to be dinking, ducking it. They have one of the better run games, one of the better running backs in the ACC and the nation as well. You got to take this offense serious. Last season, it was a complete shootout. They showed they could go blow for blow with that great Miami offense that led the nation last season. You got to keep your eye on this game. And whenever you have a Miami Hurricanes game, they always drop 1 or 2 games that they are the favorites in. It's even continued under Mario Cristobal. Mario Cristobal, he's going to lay an egg somewhere. Even if they make the playoffs, guys, it is what it is. Just like Ryan Day always lays an egg. Usually it is versus Michigan. Even if he wins the national championship, he still lays an egg somewhere. I have Miami laying an egg here. I'm going to go with them losing this one to Louisville. Miami fans, don't panic. Don't get in an uproar. You are going to lose one at some point. Pick a game. It is going to get lost. It will happen for sure. It's just the way it always has for over a decade now, practically 2 decades. Miami drops this one, but I do have it being a shootout. 38-34. Miami loses. They're still 5-1. The entire season is still in front of them right now. And then after that, thank God, coming off that loss, you need an easy game. It doesn't get any easier than this one. Saturday, October 25th versus the Stanford Cardinals. They have to come all the way across the nation, west to east. Why are they in the ACC? No one knows. But they're there. They got to travel all over. This is the worst team in the ACC. This is one of the worst teams in the nation in Power 1, Division 1 football, especially in the Power 4. They might be the worst. Miami's going to beat the crap out of them. They're definitely going to make up for that loss the week before. They're going to rebound. They're going to work on some of the things that were not working versus Louisville. The defense, which would have been challenged the previous game, look for them to step up here to rebound. They're going to dominate this game. I have them winning this one 44-13. And then you might not get to face Al Golden this year, but you're going to be facing Rhett Lashley. Saturday, November 1st, Miami was able to avoid this team last season at SMU, going all the way to Dallas playing SMU here, a team that made the playoffs last season, went to the ACC championship game while Miami was sitting at home. They have Jennings back at the quarterback position, dual threat quarterback. You have Rhett Lashley, a guy who's stolen a lot of Miami players through the transfer portal. He knows Miami. Some of these guys still on this team. He still remembers them, some of those seniors, some of those guys that have been there for a while that they might have been getting recruited when he was there previously. Rhett Lashley, they have a very good offense. They're going to be averaging 35 to 42 points a game. They're going to have a top 30 overall defense. They're a very talented team that usually these first 2 years in the ACC, they've actually had an extremely easy conference game. So they'll be a lot more rested than Miami will at this point, who does have a more difficult game than SMU. I have Miami on the road here, dropping this game, losing this one, but I think it's going to be close. I have them losing it 32-28. They dropped this one. Right now they're sitting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-2. No reason to panic, guys. Vegas is predicting Miami to win 8.5 games this season. Right now you are 6-2. You still have 4 games left over. Let's just wait to see what happens these last 4 games. And Miami would love to come back and rebound and beat the crap out of this next team. This next team is the one who knocked them out of a shot for the ACC championship and for the college football playoff. But Miami technically beat themselves last season, but they'd love to make up for it by beating Syracuse Saturday, November 8th, going to Syracuse. Fran Brown's team, obviously, he's been working the portal as well. They're going to have a pretty good offensive team, but Kyle McCord's gone. All that big wide receiver core from last season, they're all gone. But he's actually recruiting really good, working the portal. This is a younger team. This is an up-and-coming team in the ACC. But there's going to be a massive, massive talent gap here. And Miami, they want revenge this game. I have them getting it. They win this game. They win this game big. I'm going to go a little bit on the ledge here. Give Miami a lot of props. I have them winning this game 48-23. And they're now 7-2 still. They're going to be top 15 here. You still have a shot to make the playoffs. Then Miami has NC State coming up Saturday, November 15th, the NC State Wolfpack. This is a team that hasn't quite played up to expectations last few years. Usually they have a really good front seven, good defense, solid offense, run-first offense. They let it run it down your throat, play time of possession, suck up the clock, but they haven't been able to move the ball the last 2 years, and the defense has kind of fallen off. Miami, look for them to jump out to an early lead here, but I do think it's going to get a little closer garbage time. Miami's going to win this game. I have them winning it 38-21. In this next one, this used to be an old rivalry game. This used to be a really good game whenever the Hurricanes faced off with Virginia Tech. Saturday, November 27th at Virginia Tech. If this is a night game, I'm not sure if the times have come out just yet. Blacksburg at night. Very difficult place to play, especially when they break out the black shirts. We know Virginia Tech hates Miami. Miami hates Virginia Tech. It's an old school type rivalry game. These teams used to slug it out in the early to mid 2000s. Great games. It went back and forth. Miami, they don't get to play them every season. We know the last time they played a really close game, really competitive game, it was a scary game. If you're a Miami Hurricanes fan, Miami, they don't want it to be close here. Virginia Tech's one of those teams, they never play up to the talent they have, but still nonetheless, Miami's still a far more talented team. I have Miami winning this game, even if it's the black shirts in Blacksburg on a late night. Doesn't matter. Miami's going to win it, but it's going to be a lower scoring game. I have them winning it 27-20. And then you're closing out the season with a team that's kind of been a thorn in your side the last couple seasons. Whenever Miami has a really good season, they always end with this team, and it never usually works out for them. Saturday, November 29th at the Pittsburgh Panthers. This game on the road in Pittsburgh, it might start to be chilly at this point. It might be kind of cold. It's going to be a difficult game with this team last season. Pittsburgh actually had a really good offense the first 6 to 7 games of last season. They completely fell off the second half with the transfer from Alabama. They were slinging it. They look like a Mike Leach team the first half of last season. They can score some points. It's going to test Miami's defense here. You don't want to sleep on this team. You slept on Syracuse last season. They beat the crap out of you. You want to take this game serious. Right now, Miami, you are 9-2. 10-2. If you get to 10-2, you have a shot at the ACC championship. You have a shot at the playoffs. Well, the way that I'm picking it, it is a rehash, a redo of last season. Everything is in front of you. You have to win this game. You cannot afford to lose it. I have Miami finally doing it this season. Finally, for once, finishing the regular season on a high note. It seems like it could never happen, guys. This is the year, I assure you. Miami wins this one. They go to 10-2. I have them winning this one 38-24. Miami finishes the regular season at 10-2 with a shot to make the ACC championship game. A lot of Vegas pundits are picking Clemson to make the ACC championship, which makes perfect sense. You know, a very talented team. Clay Klubnik backs, fourth season starter. They're an experienced team. They have a good wide receiver core. They have Allen calling plays on the defensive side. They're going to be good. If it's not Miami facing them in the ACC championship, it's going to be SMU. It could be a complete rehash of last season. And don't forget, if SMU also finishes 10-2, the way that I predicted it, they have the tiebreaker. So Miami, if you beat SMU somehow during the regular season, you had the tiebreaker. I do think this is the year Miami makes it back to the ACC championship, and they'll be facing off with Clemson. No matter how things pan out, if you make that, you're 10-2. The committee has said before they're not going to hold the conference championship against you. You might find yourself in the playoffs this season. Where I have this season different from last season's 10-2 regular season team is this season's team is finishing on a high note, whereas last season's team was limping at the end of the year, losing that final regular season game. That's really what knocked them out of contention for the playoffs. That's not the case this year. If they finish 10-2, mark my words, guys, I do think they will make the playoffs this season, no matter what happens the ACC Conference Championship game. Guys, that's our breakdown, our predictions, and look at this 2025-26 Miami Hurricanes football team. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, you agree with me, disagree with me, what are your thoughts on the Miami Hurricanes? Let me know below, and I will make sure to respond to every single comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look down at the pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. And, of course, thank you for watching.